Namaste Ji. Today is Monday, December 15th, 2025. We will begin our session on Sandhya Upasana and Mantra Swadhyaya. आप सभी लोगों का बहुत बहुत स्वागत है जो हमारे साथ जूम से या फिर सोशल मीडिया से जुड़े हुए हैं. And this program is being brought to you by आर्या प्रतिनिधि सभा अमेरिका. हमारे आज के स्पीकर हैं आचार्य वरुण देव जी फ्रॉम सियाटल. नमस्ते आचार्य जी, आपका स्वागत है संध्या सेशन में. आप प्लीज संध्या से स्टार्ट करिए.
सादर नमस्ते जी, सभी को सादर नमस्ते. धन्यवाद भल्ला जी. आइए हम सभी मिलकर परमात्मा का ध्यान करेंगे. परमात्मा को ही अपना मुख्य सब सर्वस्व मानकर, क्योंकि सारे सुखों की खान, सब दुखों से छुड़ाने वाले, अनंत शांति के सागर, हमारे परम हितकारी बंधु सखा आचार्य, विद्वान, न्यायाधीश, राजा, माता पिता, जो चाहें हम उनके साथ, जिस भी भाव के साथ हम भगवान के साथ जुड़ना चाहते हैं उस भाव के साथ, परंतु बस एक ही बात का हमें विश्वास और ध्यान रखना है कि भाव हमारा शुद्ध हो, पवित्र हो, उसमें कोई प्रकार की मिलावट, किसी भी प्रकार की कोई भी ऐसी छद्म, स्वयं को भटकाने वाली किसी भी प्रकार की कोई उसमें हमारी इच्छा न हो. केवल मात्र शुद्ध ईश्वर के दर्शन, परमात्मा का साक्षात्कार, केवल मात्र ईश्वर की ही स्वाभाविक अनुभूति हमें हो, क्योंकि परमात्मा ने तो हमें सब कुछ दे ही रखा है. सारे संसाधन, सारे जीवन के सुख, सभी प्रकार की औषधियां, वायु, जल, सारी वनस्पतियां, पेड़ पौधे, नदियां, पहाड़, आकाश, कितना सुंदर भगवान ने यह संसार बनाया है. और यदि व्यक्ति संसार को अवलोकन करे, इस संसार को गहराई से देखे, तो उसे पता चले कि सृष्टिकर्ता की बिना स्तुति किए वह रह नहीं सकता. तो आइए हम भी प्रेम के साथ, भक्ति के साथ ईश्वर को अपना सखा मानकर, बंधु मानकर आज का यह संध्या का सत्र आरंभ करें. अथ ब्रह्म यज्ञः. 3 बार लंबा गहरा श्वास लेकर परमात्मा की वह एकमात्र उस ध्वनि का, ईश्वर के मुख्य नाम प्रणव का उच्चारण करेंगे पूरे प्रेम पूर्वक. ओम भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात्. ओम शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये शंयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः. ओम वाक् वाक्, ओम प्राणः प्राणः, ओम चक्षुः चक्षुः, ओम श्रोत्रं श्रोत्रम्, ओम नाभिः, ओम हृदयम्, ओम कंठः, ओम शिरः, ओम बाहुभ्यां यशोबलम्, ओम करतल करपृष्ठे, ओम भूः पुनातु शिरसि, ओम भुवः पुनातु नेत्रयोः, ॐ स्वः पुनातु कण्ठे ॐ महः पुनातु हृदये ॐ जनः पुनातु नाभ्याम् ॐ तपः पुनातु पादयोः ॐ सत्यं पुनातु पुनः शिरसि ॐ खं ब्रह्म पुनातु सर्वत्र ॐ भुः ॐ भुवः ॐ स्वः ॐ महः ॐ जनः ॐ तपः ॐ सत्यम् ॐ ऋतं च सत्यं चाभिद्धात् तपसोऽध्यजायत ततो रात्र्यजायत ततः समुद्रो अर्णवः ॐ समुद्रादर्णवादधि संवत्सरो अजायत अहोरात्राणि विदधद्विश्वस्य मिषतो वशी ॐ सूर्याचन्द्रमसौ धाता यथा पूर्वमकल्पयत् दिवं च पृथिवीं चान्तरिक्षमथो स्वः ॐ शन्नो देवीरभिष्टय आपो भवन्तु पीतये संयोरभिस्रवन्तु नः ॐ प्राचीदिगग्निरधिपतिरसितो रक्षितादित्या ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ दक्षिणादिगिन्द्रोऽधिपतिस्थिरश्चिराजीरक्षिता पितर ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ प्रतीचीदिग्वरुणोऽधिपतिः प्रीदाकुरक्षितान्नमिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ उदीचीदिक्सोमोऽधिपतिः स्वजो रक्षिता शनिरिषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ ध्रुवादिग्विष्णुरधिपतिः कल्माषग्रीवो रक्षिता वीरुध ईशवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं वोजम्भे दद्मः ॐ ऊर्ध्वा दिग्बृहस्पतिरधिपतिः श्वित्रो रक्षिता वर्षमीषवः तेभ्यो नमोऽधिपतिभ्यो नमो रक्षितृभ्यो नम ईशुभ्यो नम एभ्यो अस्तु योऽस्मान् द्वेष्टियं वयं द्विष्मस्तं भोजम्भे दध्मः ॐ उद्वयं तमसस्परिस्वाह पश्यन्त उत्तरम् देवं देवत्रा सूर्यमगन्मज्योतिरुत्तमम् ॐ उदित्यं जातवेदसं देवं वहन्ति केतवः दृशे विश्वाय सूर्यम् ॐ चित्रं देवानामुदगादनीकं चक्षुर्मित्रस्य वरुणस्याग्नेः आप्राद्या वा पृथिवी अन्तरिक्षं सूर्य आत्मा जगतस्तस्थुषश्च स्वाहा ॐ तच्चक्षुर्देवहितं पुरस्ताच्छुक्रमुच्चरत् पश्येम शरदाः शतं जीवेम शरदाः शतं शृणुयाम शरदाः शतं प्रब्रवाम शरदाः शतमधिनाहस्याम शरदाः शतम् भूयश्च शरदाः शतात् ॐ भूर्भुवः स्वः तत्सवितुर्वरेण्यं भर्गो देवस्य धीमहि धियो यो नः प्रचोदयात् हे ईश्वर दयानिधे भवत्कृपयानेन जपोपासनादिकर्मणा धर्मार्थकाममोक्षाणां सद्यः सिद्धिर्भवेन्नः ॐ नमः शम्भवाय च मयो भवाय च नमः शङ्कराय च मयस्कराय च नमः शिवाय च शिवतराय च ॐ शान्तिः 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 in the Aaryabhivinaya Dvitiya Prakash. We are today on the 13th mantra, mantra Sankhya 13. And in the last session we did Swadhyaya of very famous mantra and very essentially the Swarup of Paramatma in that mantra, Yajurved Adhyay 40, mantra 5th. But today it is Yajurved Adhyay 18th and mantra Sankhya is 29th. And this mantra is very long and there are so many things which are asked in this mantra. This mantra is a complete like a package. The package, why I use this word, because it contains an integral aspect of our life, and how can we align our consciousness with that divine harmony, with that divine consciousness, with that cosmic order, with that order of truth, with that rhythm, which will enable ourselves to be perfect in this physical life, material life, as well as in our spiritual aspiration. Because if the balance, when we lose the balance, then we see the deficiency in that aspect. For example, the people who only thinks about their physical, material progress, there you will find them completely empty, hollow, restless, and that building of values in their life is very poor. But on the other side, if you see those people who are, for the sake of the sadhana, they ignore or neglect the physical and material world. I'm telling negligence. I'm not talking about the detachment. Detachment, that is why this is very important to differentiate between the detachment and negligence. Some people, they have negligence towards the physical world, the physical life, the material life, and they name that as detachment, but it is not that. If we have that insecurity and fear, especially those who are practicing some kind of sadhana in their life, some practicing yoga, then it becomes very effective and essential for us to understand both of them. So this mantra will cover everything. In this mantra we will see. Let's first chant the mantra, then we will go to the meaning of the mantra and then Vyakhya. Om Ayuryajyena kalpatam, prano yajyena kalpatam, chakshuryajyena kalpatam, shrotam yajyena kalpatam, VAAGYAJYENA kalpatam, MANO yajyena kalpatam, ATMA yajyena kalpatam, BRAHMAA yajyena kalpatam, JYOTIRYAJYENA kalpatam, SVARYAYENA kalpatam, PRISHTHAM yajyena kalpatam, YAJYO yajyena kalpatam, STOMASHA YAJUSHCHA-RIK SAAMAM cha BRIHACCHAM RATHANTARANCHA SWARDEVA ऽअगन्मा वृताम अबभूम प्रजापतेः प्रजा अभूम वेद स्वाहा. So, how even when you chant this mantra, you feel the energy of the mantra. Such a beautiful mantra. Maharishi Dayanand chose, compiled this. This is a upakar he gave, as rightly said, that paropakaraya phalanti vrikshaha, paropakaraya vahanti nadyah, paropakaraya duhanti gavah, paropakararthamidam shariram. That those sages like Rishi Dayanand, they gave themselves completely for the sake of the welfare of humanity. Their swarup, their quality of life, their lifestyle align with that divine consciousness, that Parameshwar the gun karma swabhav of Parameshwar, that they become like how Paramatma acts towards the Jivatma. For themselves, they have nothing to achieve in their personal life, but for the humanity, for the Jivamatra, they have so much compassion, and out of that compassion and love, Niswarth Bhav, they give everything what they have in terms of knowledge or anything. So such, we should be grateful to the Rishi. So in this mantra, it says that the first, it is a Stuti mantra and also a prayer. Both of them are combined in this mantra. And when we look at the meaning of the mantra Ayur, there are everything is repeated. Few things, Yajyena Kalpatam, you are seeing this is repeated again and again. Ayuhu Yajyena Kalpatam, Pranaha Yajyena Kalpatam, Chakshuhu, then Shrotra, then Vak, Manah, Yajya, Brahma, Jyoti, Swar, Swah, Prishtha, Stoma, and Yajurved, Rigved, Samaved, Atharvaved, Brihat, Rathantarancha, Stoma. So all these, we should first know what is the meaning. We all know the Yaj, but why it might be possible that only it could have been used only at the last Yajyena Kalpatam. But why emphasis? We can see the emphasis. The Yajyena Kalpatam, this is emphasis is time and again it is on these two words. Why? So that it is very accurate and in details. This mantra is showing us how to offer everything in details and how to first understand how to align everything, our individual parts of being, with the consciousness, Chetana of Paramatma. And without offering, without Samarpan, it cannot happen. This is sure. We might have so much knowledge about the Shastras, we might have so much knowledge of Sanskrit as well, we might have so much knowledge of different other Siddhanta, but if we don't practice this Samarpan, if we don't practice Yajna in our daily life, one aspect of Yajna we know that is the Panchamaha, in the form of Panchamaha. But if we will understand the Yajna in its essence, essentially, in its core, that what is the spirit of Yajna, then each act, each action, each feeling, sensation, everything will reflect, will become a Yajna. So for that, Yajna is not something we have to sit and do. It is not something external. And we have to remove this subtle bar between our understanding, what we understand externally. That is external understanding. Okay, I have to sit and do Agnihotra. That is external act. But Yajna first should start from within, deep within ourselves. That when every thought is influenced by the Vichar of Paramatma, Sankalp, Shiva Sankalp, then whatever we will do Yajna. We cannot do otherwise. Like, for example, the flowers, they cannot stop offering or blooming. It is their nature. They will bloom. The bud will become the flower. It is their nature. The nature of the cow will be the same. She will give milk in whatever situation or condition. The sages, the Maharshi, Rishi, the great people, and if we look at the Bhashya, Yajurved Bhashya of Maharshi Dayanand Ji, beautifully we have to understand when this he is giving the explanation of this mantra, he is doing the bhashya of the mantra. He is translating, giving the bhavarth of this yaj arth, that to Paramatma and to the Vidwan. He is putting, but Vidwan, we have to be careful, he is using in the purest sense, who has the realization of Paramatma in that sense. So whenever Maharshi Dayanji is using this word Vidwan, we should understand, now in common practice, we take Vidwan word very casually. It is like everyone who knows some Shastras is a Vidwan, but in his terminology, in his language, Vidwan, he always considers someone who has realized Paramatma in Samadhi, in asamprajyat Samadhi, and then who has the knowledge as well as the knowledge of the Shastras, of the Veda, then it is aligned. So that is how the consciousness is aligned. The Shabd Praman is in harmony with the Pratyaksha Praman. Shabd Praman can only be helpful if we are ready to realize the truth, really ready to do the Pratyaksh. Otherwise, Shabd Praman will always be Shabd Praman. It will not convert into the Pratyaksh Praman. The purpose of Shabd Praman is to make us experience, have that direct perception of Paramatma. That is the, for example, if we are going to New York and we have Shabd Praman of different people, how to go there, but we never try to go. We only know, okay, this is the route. This is the route to reach New York. This is the route to start from place and to reach that place. But we never try to move from we never displace. And when there is no displacement, how can we reach that destination? So the same way, when we know the Shabd Praman, even a little if we know, we should try to practice it so that it becomes feasible and living truth, a living knowledge for us, not only the verbal knowledge. So YAJYENA Kalpatam, this instrumental case, YAJYENA Kalpatam, yajj se kalpatam hum siddh ho. Yajj se means samarpan karke, by offering our life, by dedicating our life span toward to the Paramatma, according to his Veda Ajya, according to his, and this is not religious kind of thing, this is completely spiritual and integral. When we are saying we dedicate our life span to Paramatma, you know how big statement is this? Who can say that I give my life to Paramatma? This is the highest act, gesture of self-surrender to Paramatma, that I give my life to Paramatma. Only the people who have vanished, who have melted their ego in the bhakti, in the jnana, in the tapasya, only those kind of people can proclaim, and this mantra is for them. But of course, even if we can do 1%, we are also in that category. Even if 1%, if someone can do 100%, should do 100% offering to the Paramatma. So even if we do from the minimum, then we increase our surrender little by little. So YAJYENA Kalpatam, by that we become established in Paramatma. Our ayu become, our lifespan become for the sake of Paramatma. PRAANO YAJYENA Kalpatam. Our vital energy, our prana shakti, without that we cannot live. Without that we don't feel energy in our life. This has to be controlled, discipline first, only then we can offer. If we don't have prana shakti, then how will we offer it? How will we use it for the sake of Paramatma, for the noble causes, for the divine causes? So, when it is said Ayuryajyena Kalpatam, it is our responsibility to make this lifespan long and healthy. We should not do wrong practices in the form of bad habits, in the form of bad company, and in the form of bad thinking. Bad in the sense which is not progressive, which is harmful to our progress, which degenerate our consciousness, which brings our consciousness down towards the inconscient ignorance. And the same way with prana. Then CHAKSHURYAJYENA KALPATAAM, our eyes, how can it be used for the divine purpose? By doing Swadhyaya, by looking always at this wonderful creation of the Paramatma and do stuti of Paramatma, by writing books, by doing so, by watching, doing satsang with the great people, with the scholars. That is how we use our chakshu, our eyes, for the sake of Paramatma. And the same with Shrotra, Shravan Karna. We have to listen to only that thing which is good for our spiritual, our physical and social progress. VAAGYAJYENA KALPATAAM. Then our Vani, our speech should be for the purpose of the divine fulfillment, not for anything else. This is a clear indication, a decree, a declaration for us that, like Pita is telling his children, you have to do it like this in details. This is a detailed blueprint of our progress. Manoryajyena Kalpatam. Then in the mind, when we are talking about the mind, Antahkaran Chatushtaya, Man Buddhi Chitta Ahankar is included in that. We have to rationalize our mind, not to be swayed by the senses, by the sensory pleasures and the attractions. The self-control is the key for that Manoyajyena Kalpatam, to make our mind purposeful for the divine causes. And in that divine purpose, it only hides its maximum perfection and welfare. No, nowhere else. Nanya pantha vidyate aynaya. Then Atma Yajyena Kalpatam. Then offer the soul. Ayanta idma Atma. So we offer our soul to Paramatma. How? By devotion, by bhakti, by shraddha, by vishwas. When we have these attributes, we can say that we are doing the Atma Yajna. We are doing Atma Yajna with the help of the soul. We become the soulful in our actions, not artificial, superficial, or as the acts of formalities. When we do things like that, no great consequences come out of that. When we do it with full-heartedness, with full of Atma, with full of ourself, with full Vishwas and Shraddha and devotion and dedication, then we see that we are offering ourselves to Paramatma. Brahma Yajyena Kalpatam. All the Vedas and the knowledge, the true knowledge, we should use it for the sake of the divine, for the Paramatma. JYOTIRYAJYENA Kalpatam. Jyoti, the light of knowledge. We should be enlightened. It is not enough to have only the knowledge. We should enlighten ourselves and the society and the people who are around us. Swaryajyena Kalpatam. Then we have to offer ourselves. PRISHTHAM Yajyena Kalpatam. Prisht, where we are sitting, the place where we live, we dwell, our house, wherever we are, this Prithvi, we should make use of it for its best use, for the sake of the whole humanity and all the living beings, not only the humanity. YAJYENA KALPATAAM, and make our every moment of life full of yaj, full of samarpan, atma samarpan to Paramatma. Then stoma. What is stoma? The group of mantras in which we adore the divine, Paramatma. Like Ishwar Stuti, Prarthana, Upasana mantra, that is stoma. And there are different kinds of stoma. There is one. There are stom in Yajurved, in Rigved, in Samaved, and there is two more which are mentioned here: BRIHACCHA, Brihat, and Rathantarancha. So these are the stom, the mantras, special hymns to adore the divine, to Paramatma. So all these are for the sake of Paramatma, for Parameshwar, doing the stuti of them, of him. Swadhyaya Aganmamrita. So here, if we look, when we do that, when we understand the deep meaning of this, only then we will move forward in our life. Otherwise, we will make everything very superficial or just a formality. So Rigved, Yajurved, Samaved, Rathantaram, Brihat, all the stotra, we can say, should be used to adore the Paramatma. And then we also become great in our life, like Devata, completely devoid of all the Janma and Maran. We should transcend Janma and Maran, this Avagaman Chakra. Swaha, स्वयं को, उस मोक्ष सुख को स्वयं को प्राप्त कराते हो. We should attain that moksha sukh in this lifetime. Aganma प्राप्त हो, we attain that. Then प्रजापते, हे समस्त संसार के स्वामी परमात्मा, जगदीश्वर, प्रजा, पालन योग्य प्रजा अब भूम हम हो. You become us worthy of you. Then Ved, and we become knowledgeable, we attain knowledge through experience with noble deeds. And Swaha, apni satyavani se. And then Abhabhuma ho, and we become as you are. We imbibe your divine aspects, your divine qualities in our life, so that integrally we become like you. So how beautiful is the mantra. And oh, I forgot, time is. So in this mantra, and we can see in the beginning, Yajyo vai Vishnu, Yajyo vai Brahma, इत्याद्यैतरेय शतपथ ब्राह्मण श्रुते, कि यज्ञ वही विष्णु, यज्ञ ही विष्णु है. विष्णु सर्वव्यापक, वह परमात्मा सर्वव्यापक है और वह यज्ञ है. इट मीन्स दैट परमात्मा इज कॉन्स्टेंटली making this entire universe move, doing the yaj. That Paramatma is yaj. That Paramatma, that Brahma, that yaj ब्रह्म है. ये ऐतरीय और शतपथ ब्राह्मण के ये श्रुति है, ये उसमें मेंशन है. So the explanation is long, so I suggest explanation we can read in the next session of this mantra of Vyakhya, and then we start the next mantra in our next session on December. Is that okay, Raji?
Sorry, I had to step out for a little bit.
Sorry?
आपका हो गया प्रवचन?
हाँ अच्छा, मैं पूछ रहा था आज व्याख्या नहीं करी क्योंकि समय कम बचा।
कोई
तो
बात नहीं।
वो
वैसे
व्याख्या
नेक्स्ट टाइम।
महर्षि दयानंद जी की हम अगली बार पढ़ लेंगे, ठीक है।
ठीक है, नहीं, नो प्रॉब्लम, नो प्रॉब्लम, क्योंकि ये मंत्र बड़ा लंबा है ना। तो
मंत्र
ये
लंबा है, हाँ जी।
तो यू वी कैन ड्रैग इट फॉर 2 days or 3 days if you want to.
या वी विल ड्रैग इट टू नेक्स्ट सेशन आल्सो देन।
Yeah. Okay. That's
सो
fine. Yeah, that's fine. Sorry, I had to just step out for a minute. So शांति पाठ कर दीजिए, उसके बाद फिर।
जी, शांति पाठ। ओम द्यौः शान्तिरन्तरिक्षं शान्तिः पृथिवी शान्तिरापः शान्तिरोषधयः शान्तिः वनस्पतयः शान्तिर्विश्वे देवाः शान्तिर्ब्रह्म शान्तिः सर्वं शान्तिः शान्तिरेव शान्तिः सामा शान्तिरेधि। ओम शांति शांति शांति। वैदिक अभिवादन।